Hi, my name's Becca. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about January 2020 TBR, and I'm going to actually be doing something a little bit different for the year of 2020 than I have in the past, and it is to help me be a little bit more diverse in what I read. And so what I have decided is by reading a minimum of 6 books a month. I might read more than that, but my goal is to at least hit that 6 book mark each month to be able to hit my Goodreads goal by the end of the year. Also, I do have a Goodreads account. If you want to go look me up, it's just it is BookTube Becca, just like my name on this channel, and you can go on there and see my different reviews for the different books that I read as I'm reading them, if you so choose. If not, not a big deal. But as far as the year 2020, my reading things, my 6 books that I want to attempt to read is, so I want to read 1 fantasy, 1 contemporary, 1 classic, 1 just for fun, 1 sequel, because you know how hard it is to get back to a series unless you're literally reading that series from like being able to go from book to book to book. It's kind of hard to go back and remember what sequels that you're trying to get back and read. And so I've got a lot of sequels that I got to get caught up on. And then for the book number 6 is a new release, so a book that is newly released in that month. I want to pick up and read by the end of the month. I may throw in a couple extra books in there if I so choose. Otherwise, those are going to be the main 6 categories that I want to read within the young adult genre, because that's where I like to read. So the first book for the month of January 2020 is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kamara. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, probably not. This one, I've actually already read it. It was a fantastic book. I absolutely loved it. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and if you haven't noticed already with my last upload that I did, I kind of have a thing for Beauty and the Beast, whether it's the actual Disney show or merchandise, the different retellings. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. Anyway, this one is kind of a different spin on it. The prince doesn't start out as a beast the lead character's name is Harper, and she gets kidnapped basically and brought into a parallel universe. So she lives in DC in our current era, and she gets kidnapped and brought across to a parallel universe. I guess you can, I don't know how any other way to explain it other than that, but she gets brought across and she meets the prince, and she finds out that the land is cursed, the kingdom is cursed, the prince is cursed, and he has to get her to fall in love with him before the end of the season. Otherwise, at the end of the season, I guess it's kind of like a Groundhog Day thing, where if it doesn't ever work out, then it restarts, everything restarts, and he has to redo the season over and over and over again. Well, this ends up being, for circumstances, this ends up being the last season, and so he is, at the end of this season, if she hasn't, at the end of the season, he ends up turning into the beast. And so, you know, sometimes he's had girls that have fallen for him, but when he's turned into the beast, it scares the crap out of them, and of course they can't love the beast either, and so, you know, because of that, it won't break the curse. And when he becomes the beast, he isn't himself. He just takes on the beast persona, and he wreaks havoc throughout the kingdom, killing the people in his kingdom. I guess I can't remember what it's called. Anyhow, so Harper is a feisty girl. She is not taking crap from anybody. She actually has cerebral palsy, so she isn't perfect in any sort of means. And so she has learned her whole life to not take crap from people. And, you know, living in DC, you know, it's not a very happy place. as far as where she is growing up. She's kind of in the slums of DC rather than, you know, a higher class person. Anyhow, it's really, really good book. I really hope that I've given it a creditable synopsis without giving away too many spoilers. I absolutely loved it. So this was my first read for January. My second book I'm actually currently reading right now. Oh, and this was my fantasy read. And this is the book that I'm actually currently reading right now. It's called The Heir and the Spare by Emily Albright. And it is a contemporary romance about a girl that goes to college in the UK, and she meets the, I believe he is the second in line to the throne of England. His name is Edmund. And she meets him, but she doesn't know who he is when she first meets him, and he's going to college at the same place that she is. I believe it's Oxford. They're going to college in Oxford. And so she meets his friends and they start to hang out, and then she finds out, you know, he's actually a prince. And so that's as far as I know what is going on in the story. On the cover, it actually says she's secretly royal, he's secretly loyal. And so it's gonna be like a really cute, cutesy type romance novel. I'm really excited to read it. So far it's been pretty good. I'm not too far into it yet, but I'm looking forward to finishing that one. As far as my classic book goes, this one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is a beautiful cover, or a beautiful addition to that book. It is, I believe, let's see, it's published by the Franklin Library. And it has portraits by Chris Duke in it, and so there's some illustrations in here, and so I really am excited to read this edition, or rendition, not rendition, but anyway, and I like that the words aren't so itty-bitty like you find in some of the other novels where they're kind of teeny tiny, and I think for me it's harder to read books with smaller print. I have to pull out my old lady glasses to read those ones. Anyhow, so that one is going to be my classic. I've actually watched all the different movies of Jane Austen. I have read other Jane Austen books, but and also I've read other renditions of Pride and Prejudice, more of like contemporary type spin-offs, but I've never actually read this one. So I'm really excited to finally get to this one and give it a good read. Look at those gold spray paged. Oh, love it. It's gorgeous. The next book in the series is, the next book that I have set aside to read, and this one's my Just for Fun, and it's Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. I actually started reading this one at the end of December. We had a family, we had, I don't know how to explain it. We had an issue go on, and so I wasn't able to finish it before the end of the year. I actually was only on like page 17, so I decided to hold off and reread it at a later time. I do want to get this one read by the end of January. I kind of didn't want to make it my first read of January just because I'm associating this book with the family trauma that we just had, and so I'm putting it off for a few books, so that way I am not associating this book in any way with our family trauma, because this book is supposed to be incredible. It is about, I can't remember exactly without having to go and read the synopsis on the back of the book. It is about, if I remember correctly, it's about a witch or a walker woman, and there's this forest that finds missing things or something like that. And so once a month under the full moon, the forest is safe for her to venture out into these woods, the Wicker Woods, and to go and collect these lost things. And what happens is it's by this campground, like for boys that have issues, or I can't remember what it is exactly, but these boys live there year round, and they are, they have issues with their personal lives, or, you know, getting along with other boys. I don't know exactly, I haven't really delved into it that far, but that's why they're living at this camp, and they're learning like survival skills and stuff. There's a lake there, and so what things that get lost in the lake are actually found in the winterwood. And so what I remember about it is she goes into the woods and she actually finds a boy that was missing from the camp, and he's in these winter woods. And so that's where I was at. I don't know much more than that, but it seems like a really pretty spooky read. I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's more of like a wintry, well, it says winterwood, but I'm really looking forward to reading it in the month of January because it has that wintry vibe to it. So I think it's something really good to read while it's cold and chilly outside. I live in the desert, so it doesn't really get super cold here, but I'm really looking forward to reading that one. And then the book that I want to read for my, I don't know if you can hear that, that's my dog getting into stuff. Gibbs! Gibbs, get out of it. Sorry, I have a beagle. He's in the house right now, and he's getting into everything because his nose won't quit. So anyway, for my sequel, I actually have read the first book of The Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I put it down after reading that one because at that point all the books weren't out yet. I wanted to wait to read it until all of the books were out. My husband got me the entire collection, or the entire series, in a box set for Christmas, and so this is actually the prequel to that series, so I want to read this for that sequels, I guess, section, and then I want to go through and read these as the months pass. I can't remember offhand what it is about, but it's a very overhyped book. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already read this or have read the series, so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. I know that the lead character, her name is Selena, and she is an assassin, and she is one of those chicks you don't bother because she is a killing machine. And so, yeah, other than that, I'm not sure exactly, I can't remember, it's been so long since I've read the first book, so I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. Sarah J. Maas is a really good author. I've enjoyed some of the other works that she has done in the past, and so I'm looking forward to getting into this series. I do not have the new release yet. This is the beginning of the month, and the book that I want to read that is coming out hasn't come out yet, so I probably won't get it till later on in the month, so it probably won't be read until closer to the end of the month. And bear with me, I gotta get the title out because I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. And I can't remember exactly what it's about. I know it's a rendition of a popular book that's already out, or a popular movie, I can't remember which. I'm really bad at this, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's one that I'm looking forward to reading. I can't remember the synopsis exactly, but it caught my attention when I read it on Goodreads, and so that one is the one that I have chosen to try and pick up when it comes out and read that one for my new book this month. And I also have one other that I'm gonna be doing a major book haul once all the books come in. I did a huge order on Boxing Day from Book Outlet, and so I have a book. It's called Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palpretto. I think that's how you say her name. And it's basically these people, they ride on, I keep wanting to call them Fox, but that is the Harry Potter name of it. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. That happens quite often. Anyway, I'll do a review on it later, but that is another one. The sequel comes out next month, and I want that one to be my new release book that I get next month. So I've actually already put in an order for that one, so when it comes in, I'll get it. But yeah, so that is what I am planning on reading for January 2020, and we'll see what I can get done and what else I might read. And I hope you like this video. If you do, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, whenever I do upload any new videos, you'll be the first one to be able to find out that I did. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.